Hey y'all, it's your boy Colin and welcome back to my channel.
Started to say sorry, but fuck that shit. You started out hating, now you love my drip.
So in today's video, I'm actually doing something different. I'm actually going to be talking about my abusive relationship. And when I say abusive, I only mean like emotionally and sometimes verbally. I don't mean physically because physically I probably would not be able to handle that. So anyways, let's get right into it. So I met my ex on Tinder. We met, I think, a couple days before New Year's Eve, and this was December of 2017. I remember when we first met, I was just like really excited just because I never actually met somebody on Tinder that seemed real. So I was really excited about that. We went on our date, I want to say on New Year's Eve. We went to go see lights, we went out to dinner, all that good stuff. Well, one thing I honestly regret is actually dating him. I think it was a week after we met. I never took the time to actually truly get to know him, and that's one thing I truly look back on and say, wow, I cannot believe I dated somebody that fucking quick, because in reality, who does that? Like, who just dates somebody right out of the blue, you know what I'm saying? It started off all great, and I just thought it was really seamless, and we were having a good time with each other. And then, I don't really remember when, but I think it was like maybe a couple weeks after, but he started like being really like weird and not didn't he didn't seem so happy as he was when we first met, and I was just like, hold on, what's going on? Because everything just started turning into shit, and I'm just like, how did everything just go from this to this like that? But so for an example, I was actually in a winter guard in St. Louis, and every weekend we were practice for over like 15 hours in just those 3 days, like Friday night, Saturday, all day, Sunday in the morning. And the one thing that honestly confused me was he would always tell me that I put color guard before him. Now, here's the thing. I signed up for that winter guard in September, 3 months, 3 or 4 months before we actually started talking. And I signed a contract. I paid my dues, which is an idea. $1,250 was my dues. So I obviously had to commit to whatever was going on with that winter guard. I remember when I first told him, like, hey, I'm part of a winter guard. Like, it's something I enjoy doing. It's really fun. It's my passion. And he understood that. Great, move on. Well, it started turning into, you never make time for me, you make me feel unimportant, and I'm just like, hold on a second. I signed a contract, I paid $1,000 out of pocket for this shit, and you're telling me that I don't make time for you, when in reality I literally almost lived with him, which bigger regret, because I started doing that like a month after we met, and I was just like, wow, oh my god, I'm literally so stupid. But I remember this one time he sat me down. He was like, I understand that you signed a contract, that you paid a lot of money to be in this program. I'm going to do whatever I can to support you. Well, he did show up to all my competitions and stuff. He even drove 3 hours to see me when we had a competition in Missouri. And I remember he once told me that I don't acknowledge his presence when he's there. And I'm just like, hold the fuck on. Like, you are the first person I go to see as soon as I'm done performing. Now, I'm going to sound like a really bad person, but I went to him before I went to even see my family or my friends. And being told that honestly was just like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I just wanted to go off, but honey, let me tell you right now, I held it in. Don't know why I did, but moving on. So here's an example of one thing that he got super mad over, and I kid you not, this was real. Like, I will never forget this night. But we ended up going to Dairy Queen to get like a chicken strip basket. Well, since it was both the meals, obviously came with the drink. So I looked in the fridge before we left to see if we had water, because I'm always a water drinker. I don't drink anything but water. And I ended up getting us both waters for the drinks. And I don't understand why they would charge us for water. Like, if you can give us a water cup and make it free, like, why not give it for free in the meal? And I'm just like, okay, so I'll just get us waters. Well, when I said, hey, I'll take 2 waters with those, he looks at me and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's money wasted on drinks. And I'm like, no, it's not, because we didn't have any water at home. And he goes, yo, we did, and just started having this whole ass fit. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe we're fighting about fucking drinks. Like, and who fights about money in a relationship? Like, I get if you're poor and you're truly like splurging your money on shit that you don't need, I get that. But if it's a couple extra dollars on waters and we have enough money already, like enough, what the fuck does it have to do with then? Like, chill out. And then, okay, so out of the many times that I've been to Dairy Queen, I've never had to ask for gravy in my basket. Well, apparently at this Dairy Queen, you had to ask. And I'm just like, what the fuck? He told me to ask for it. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, they just give it to you because it's what comes with the chicken strip basket. Well, when we get our baskets, I started driving off. He looks in the baskets, there's no gravy. And I'm just like, okay, here's the thing. You never have to ask when you go here. Trust me, I've been here so many fucking times. It's on the regular, like that's what you get. And he got super pissed and just went off. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe we're fighting about fucking food. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's okay to fight about money. It's okay to fight about, like, cheating. But we're fighting over food? What? Like, honey, it's just gonna go right down here. Like, it's not gonna affect you if you don't have fucking gravy. But aside from that, I was just so over it. Because, like, once we got home, his mood went from this to this. And I'm like, okay, I can't tell if this is, like, him having a bipolar disorder or something like that, or if it's truly me and he was just trying to make me feel like shit. Either way, I don't care. Um, Throughout the relationship, he did hurt me a lot emotionally, and I did blame a lot of stuff on myself just because when you're in a relationship and someone does tell you that they love you, you honestly have this tendency to believe everything they say. And when they say, you make me feel like shit or you piss me off, you tend to believe that. And in my case, I did. I believed everything he said. I basically took everything and just thought, oh, it's my fault. I need to fix this. And let me tell you right now, 65% of the time, nothing was my fault. Like, I was just being a bitch and basically, like, putting myself lower than what I know my worth was. And I just thought, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. But after the relationship ended, I truly did figure out, like, none of that shit was your fault. He was just being a dick, and you decided to stay with him. Shortly after 3 months of dating down the road, my brother and his girlfriend asked me to come over. Well, I thought, oh, we're gonna all hang out together. Nope. He ended up asking me to come over because they had something to tell me. Well, my brother's girlfriend came out of the bathroom crying, and I'm just like, hold on, girl, what's going on? Well, she sat me down and she was just telling me, you know, your boyfriend's cheating on you and that she had proof. And I was like, okay, hold on a second. Is this real? So I look at her and I stopped talking. I stopped breathing. My heart stopped beating, I'm pretty sure. And I just looked at her. I'm like, so what's the proof? And she basically tells me how it was a setup for my ex, and my brother's girlfriend and one of her friends actually messaged him while they were together, and they were like, hey, do you want to send me a picture? And well, obviously he sent the fucking picture, and she took a picture of all the messages and showed me them whenever I came over. And I honestly, kid you not, I fell to the floor and I cried like a little fucking kid. So basically, after all of this went down, both of my brothers were like, hey, it's okay, we're gonna do something about this. And it's so heartwarming to know that your family is there for you whenever you need it. And obviously in that moment, I truly needed them. But basically, we were gonna go to his house. I had to get all my stuff because I was like, like, I can't do this anymore, obviously, after what just happened. So they both went with me, and they were both trying to make me feel a lot better by just trying to get away from the conversation and take that subject off of my mind because they knew how bad it was hurting me. Well, when we got to his house, we went in. I gathered all my shit, and let me tell you right now, he was like fighting me to stay, and my brothers were like knocking on the front door, like, "Hey, you touch my brother, I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna come in there and kick your fucking ass." I'm like, "That's right." Like, I got my own SWAT team, bitch. Well, when we got out of there, he was just like crying and crying and kept messaging me, and I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. And he left me like 6 voicemails. oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, if you were sorry, you wouldn't have fucking done it in the first place. You would have had a mind of what's right and wrong in this situation. So you're not sorry. You're just trying to get me back, which I don't fucking want you. Well, the next morning, I actually ended up working at 8 in the morning. I didn't sleep at all through that night. Like, I didn't sleep once. Well, when I got up to the mall at 8 a.m., his fucking car is sitting right there. And I'm like, let me call the cops real quick because I am not playing with this bitch. Well, I get out of the car and he's like, I just have a few things to say. I'm like, what do you possibly have to say? Like, oh, I'm sorry I cheated on you. That's not gonna make anything better for you. I'm just gonna let you know right now. Well, he was just like, I'm truly sorry for what I did. I honestly regret it with all my heart. I regret everything that I did to make you feel like shit. And I'm like, okay, that's not helping this situation. That's only making me want to like punch you in the fucking throat. Well, whenever I was like, hey, I'm going to work, like, bye, see you, he was like grabbing onto me, chasing after me, telling me, no, I don't want you to go. I was like, yes, bitch, I'm going, let me go. And so I went into work and went on without my business. And honestly, like, throughout the next couple of weeks after that, he did try to message me, and I was like, fuck no, get the fuck away from me. And at some point, I did actually want to talk to him again, but that was because I was lonely. Like, honestly, when you're lonely, you want to talk to somebody, but honestly, in that case, you need to not even associate yourself with that type of energy because it's not right. So let me just put that out right now. But overall, it was a very terrible relationship for me, and it was a very terrible first relationship for me. And I'll probably never forget it, only because it did put a strain on my heart and my mind. And it's just something you can't forget. Like, when someone tells you that they love you and they treat you like that, it just kind of like messes with your mind a little bit. So that's why I'll never forget about it. But I do know that to this day, I did truly move on to bigger and better. And I do have a lot of support from my friends, my family, and obviously my current boyfriend, who I truly love to this day. So, but for those who do experience this type of energy, I want to let you know it is not right. You may think it's right because they said I love you, but let me tell you right now, it can turn from bad to total shitstorm in like a week or two, because that's exactly how it happened with me. If it ever does like get physical, get the fuck out of there. Like, I know some people are like, no, it's okay, like, I can handle this. No, let me tell you right now, it's something truly out of the ordinary. It is something that you truly do not need in your life. You know that you are so much higher than that. Like, that's something you don't need. So for those who do ever experience physical, emotional, or verbal abuse, you need to know your worth, because basically, if you don't know your worth, you're putting yourself even lower than what you really are. And that's just not something you need. I truly do hope y'all learn something from this and y'all take away like, hey, that shit ain't right. If you ever know somebody in a terrible relationship like that, you need to get them the fuck out. I don't care what you have to do. So I want to thank you again for clicking. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and also comment down below on what you would like to probably see from me in the future. So see ya. Catch you next time.